Hello viewers, this is Wagda Ronald, and in this video I'm going to take you through the solutions to O-Level Math Paper 1 for UNEB 2019. And this video particularly we are going to look at solutions to questions 13, 14 and 15. So these questions were left in the previous video and they are the ones we are going to look at. So this is question 13. And question 14 is also there, and question 15 is also there. So I believe that by now you have already attempted these questions, and now we are going to go through their solutions and how marks are awarded so that you can assess yourself and check your progress. So we shall begin with question 13. Question 13 says, on a farm there are 4 houses, P, Q, R, and S. P is 800 meters on a bearing of 020 degrees from Q. Note that word. R is 500 meters on a bearing of 160 degrees from Q. And S is 1200 meters on a bearing of 045 degrees from R. Part A. Use a scale of 1 centimeter to represent 100 meters to construct a scale drawing showing the positions of the 4 houses. So that part A takes 9 marks. Then part B, find the distance and bearing of S from P, and that is 3 marks. Now let's see how such a question is attempted. So the first thing to do before you draw an actual diagram, you have to first make a sketch. So let's see. So first of all, you have to know, so this will be our sketch. And how does it come about? First of all, from P is 800 meters on a bearing of 020 degrees from Q. So what does that mean? It means that you come at Q, draw your compass, and bearings are drawn, measured, angles are measured from the north. So from the north, measure your 20 degrees in a clockwise direction. So this is 20, therefore from here go this side 800 meters and you'll be able to reach at P. So when you reach P, also draw that compass. Then here they said R is 500 meters on a bearing of 160 degrees from Q. So still come at Q, start from the north and measure 160 degrees, and where you reach, draw a line and measure 500. So 500 meters from Q will be your R. So this is the position of R. When you reach the position of R, you also draw a compass there. Then from there they told us that S is 1200 meters on a bearing of 045 degrees from R. So what that means that you come at R, the north is here, measure 45 degrees in a clockwise direction. Where you stop, you draw a line. Now this 200 meters where it stops, that is where S is. So when you reach its S, you also draw a compass direction. So now this is our sketch, and this is basically what we are going to draw accurately. But before you draw accurately, you have to remember what we are told. We are told that use a scale of 1 centimeter to represent 100 meters. So before we do anything, we have to first convert. So we know that QP is 800 meters, but we say that 1 centimeter represents 800 meters. Therefore, 800 meters will be equivalent, so not this part, it is equivalent to 800 over 100, which is equal to 8 centimeters. Then also QR is 500, so 500 meters will be equivalent to 500 over 100, which is 5 centimeters. And also RS is 1200 meters, which is equivalent to 1200 over 100, which is 12 centimeters. What does that mean? It means that when you are drawing an actual diagram, Where there is 800, you are going to measure 8 centimeters. Where there is 500, you are going to measure 5 centimeters. And where there is 1200, you are going to measure 12 centimeters. Now, before we go to the next slide, let us first see how marks were awarded. So in this case, drawing this sketch very well, showing all these bearings and the distances with these compass directions, gives you 2 marks. And converting these meters to centimeters with this equivalent sign there, you get your 1 mark. Now we want to draw an accurate diagram. They told us that to use a scale of this to construct a scale drawing showing the positions of the 4 houses. So what we are going to do mainly is to draw this sketch accurately using these conversions. So let's see, and for you to easily draw you need a graph paper. So hope you got a graph paper, so that is it. Now the first thing to do, we are going to draw this compass of Q and measure 120 degrees. Sorry, measure 20 degrees from north, and where it stops you draw that straight line using a ruler. And for that straight line you made to from here to here, you are going to measure off 8 centimeters. So basically you're going to measure 20 degrees and 8 centimeters to reach where P is. Let us first do that here. So that is our compass. This is the 8 centimeters and this is the 20 degrees. So where it has stopped, we have put our P. So that's the first part. Now the second part is to still stand at Q, measure 160 degrees and also measure 5 centimeters here. Where it stops, you draw a compass and that will be your R. So let's also do that. So you have got the position of R. Let's see the next. Now when you reach R, you're going to measure 45 degrees from the north and also measure off 12 centimeters to reach position S. Let's do that also. Okay, so that is our position S. So I think we have finished drawing our sketch. Next is to use the scale. What did they tell us to do? So they told us that part B, so that is part A. Now part B says, find the distance and bearing of S from P. So they want the distance and bearing of S from P. So what does that mean? It means that you have to first draw a straight line, but this line will be dotted. So draw a line joining P and S. They want the bearing of S from P and also the distance. Now first of all, you have to measure this distance from P to S. When you measure it, you'll come up with 8.4 centimeters. Therefore, you'll come up here and say the length PS is 8.4 centimeters. So this is to allow some room for errors. But remember, they don't want your distance in centimeters. So you have to go back and remember that 1 centimeter represents 100 meters. Therefore, 8.4 will become 840 plus or minus 0.1 will become 10 meters. So that will be the distance which was required here. Now, but they also wanted the bearings of S from P. So what does that mean? It means that you stand at the bearing of S from P. So you're going to measure from here up to here. So get your protractor and measure that angle. So that angle will be 117 degrees. Therefore, we'll come here and say the bearing of S from P is 117 degrees plus or minus 001 degrees. So this is the room for error. So basically that's what they wanted in this question. Now let us see how the marking can be done. Remember, we have already got 3 marks in the sketch and conversion. So we are left with 9 marks. So the first mark here, B1, will be for you to draw this angle very well using a protractor. So here, angles are drawn using a protractor. So when you draw that angle, measure of that angle, it will be B1 from north Then B, another mark will be measuring off that 8 centimeters. I think let me use a black pen. So the first one was this, then the second one is that one. Now the third one is to measure off 160 degrees from north, and the fourth one will be measuring that 5 centimeters, and this one will be the next mark will be on measuring 45 using a protractor, and from north next will be measuring this 12 centimeters. Now using your ruler to measure this distance, measuring that length will also be a mark which is given here now. So this mark for length PS is given at this point. And now the distance PS converting to meters, that is also a mark, and that should be our A1 because that's what they wanted. Then they also wanted the bearing, so for you to measure this bearing and setting it, you get your A1. So basically that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when you add this 9 to the previous 3 marks, that makes the 12 marks which were required in this question. So now shall go to question 14. Question 14 says, part A bag contains red balls and white balls. The probability of picking a white ball is 1/8. If there are 24 balls in the bag, find the number of red balls. So I think let's first start with part A. So part A shall say that let the number of white balls in the bag be X. That means that the probability of picking a white ball will be X over 24. But remember, we are given in the question that probability is equal to 1/8. So we shall say X over 24 will be equal to 1/8. Now when we cross multiply, we are going to come up with this. So I'll cross multiply this by that, I'll come up with 8x equal to 24. When I divide by 8 both sides, I'll come up with x being equal to 3. Now that we have got the number of white balls, we can now get the number of red balls. Now the number of red balls will be equal to the total number, which is 24, minus the number of white balls, which is 3. Therefore when you subtract, you'll come up with 21 balls. I think that's what question part A asks for. They ask for the number of red balls. Therefore now we can see how marking is done. So the first mark is for you to equate the two probabilities, and the second mark is to get the value of x. The third mark will be subtraction, and lastly this mark will be on get output, which is 21 balls. So now we shall go to part B. So part B says, a basket contains 30 bananas, 10 of them are ripe and the rest are unripe. 2 bananas are selected at random from the basket with replacement. Find the probability that Roman 1 both are ripe, and Roman 2 one is ripe and one is unripe. So this one takes 8 marks. Let's see how those 8 marks can be got. Remember, it is with replacement. So that means the probability of a ripe banana is 10 over 30, because there were 10, total were 30, but 10 of them were ripe, meaning the probability of picking a ripe banana is 10 over 30. And the rest were unripe, meaning that the rest will be 30 minus 10, which is 20. So the probability of picking an unripe banana will be 20 over 30. So now that you have known that, part Roman 1 they ask for probability that both are ripe. What does that mean? It means that you first pick a ripe banana and followed by a ripe banana. But probability of a ripe banana is 30 over 10 over 30, but remember, since it was with replacement, it means the probabilities remain unchanged. Therefore, both for being the first and the second one being rep will be 10 over 30 times 10 over 30. When I multiply, I come up with 100 over 900. And when I simplify, I come up with 1 over 9 as my probability. Now, Roman 2, they wanted the probability that 1 is ripe and 1 is unripe. What does that mean? It means that you may first pick one which is ripe followed by one which is unripe, or you first pick one which is unripe followed by the one which is ripe. Therefore, you come and substitute one for ripe, it is 10 over 30, unripe. Let me do this. So for this ripe, it is 10 over 30, unripe, it is that. Then for also this one, for unripe, it is that, and ripe, it is this. So when I multiply this one, I'll come up with 200 over 900, and when I multiply this part, I'll come up with 200 also over 900. When I add the 2, I'll come up with 400 over 900, which can be simplified, reduced to 4 over 9. Basically, that's what they wanted. That was the probability for one ripe and one unripe. Now let us see how marking is done. So in this case, this B1 will be the probability for stating the probability of ripe. This one probability of stating this for unripe. Then M1 will be for multiplying. So this will give you that M1, and A1 will be for output, which is that. So you can either reduce or you leave it at this point, or you still get your A1. So whether you do leave it as 100 over 900 or you leave it as 1 over 9, the answer will be the same. So you still get your A1. Those are the 4 marks of Roman 1. Then Roman 2, they wanted one ripe and one unripe. So what we do, this M1 will be for this part. So this M1 is for that part. And this M1, another M1 is for this part. This other M1 is for that part. So when I multiply this to get this, and I also multiply this to get this, and I add the 2, so I'll get another M1. So this M1 is for addition, adding the 2 probabilities. And this A1 is for the output. So when this output will be A1. So basically that's how they can get the 8 marks. So now let's go to question 15. Question 15 says, the height y meters of a wave on a certain day is given by y equal to 5 plus cos 30x degrees, where x is the number of hours after midnight. And part A, they said, use x at intervals of 1 hour from 0 to 6 hours to find the corresponding values of y, and then put the values of x and y in a table. That is 4 marks. So let's start with part A. So first of all, we are given an equation which relates x and y, that y is equal to 5 plus cos 30x degrees. Therefore, our table will be in that form. Remember, they told us that x is hours but at intervals of 1, 1. So it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They told us to stop at 6. Now this 5 will be here, so and it's a constant, therefore throughout it will be 5, 5, 5. Now after that you will put there cos 30x degrees, which is here. Now this one means when x is 0, you come and put here 0. So 0 times 30 is 0. Therefore cos 30 degrees, cos 0 degrees will be 1. When x is 1, come and put here a 1. So 1 times 30 is 30. Therefore cos 30 degrees will give you 0.87 to 2 decimal places. When x is 2, you come and put here 2 to get 30 times 2, which is 60. Therefore cos 60 degrees will give you 0.5. When x is 3, come and put here 3 to get 30 times 3, which is 90. Therefore cos 90 degrees will give you 0. When x is 4, come and put here 4 to become 30 times 4, which is 120. Therefore cos 120 is equal to negative 0.5. When x is 5, come and put here 5 to get 30 times 5 to give you 150. Therefore cos 150 degrees is equal to negative 0.85. 7. When x is 6, come and put here 6 to come up with 30 times 6, which is 180. Therefore, cos 180 degrees will be equal to negative 1. So that's how they generate the draw for cos 30x degrees. Now the y, remember y was 5 plus cos 30, therefore you're going to add this with this. So 5 plus 1 is 6, 5 plus this is 5.87, 5 plus 0.5 is 5.5, 5 plus 0 is 5, 5 plus negative 0.5 is 4.5, 5 plus negative 0.87 is 4.13, and 5 plus negative 1 is equal to 4. So basically that's how they can get the values of y. Now let's see how marks are allocated for that table before we go to part B. So here we shall generating that row of x, that is 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark, and also here 1 mark. So those are the 4 marks. Now let's go to part B. So now we shall go to part B. Part B says that use the table to draw a graph of y against x, and that is 6 marks. So first of all, before you draw a graph, you have to first get the scale. So these are the values of x, and these are the values of y. So the scale is got by we shall start with the vertical scale. We shall say highest value minus lowest value over number of spaces. So in this case, the highest value is 6, which is this, and the lowest value is 4, which is that. The number of spaces of the vertical scale are always 11. Maybe you can first see how we get 11. So if you count, these are the number of spaces. So start from here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that are the 11 spaces which we meant. Therefore, when you come back here, we shall say 6 minus 4 over number of spaces, which is 11. With this will give us 2 over 11, which approximates to 0.1818 recurring. Now, you look for where this 0.1818 lies. So from 0.1, the next high value from 0.1, the next value will be 0.2. Therefore, our scale will be 0.2 on the vertical. For the horizontal, we are going to just count the x values. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also come here on your graph and count the x values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means that this scale will be okay. Therefore, our vertical scale is this, and our horizontal scale will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, each 2 centimeters. Now let us start to draw our graph. So I believe you already have your graph with you, and now we are going to start. So the first thing to do is to draw the axes for both horizontal and vertical. So you leave 1 centimeter, draw the vertical using a wrong ruler, and also leave 1 centimeter below and draw a horizontal axis using a long ruler. Next is to demarcate. So you demarcate at intervals of 2 centimeters, both vertical and horizontal. After that, you remember our scale. Vertical is 0.2 for each 2 centimeters, and horizontal is 1 for each 2 centimeters. So now let us complete our scale. So the horizontal, it will be that, but also remember to label the axis. So the horizontal is now x in brackets hours. So this is now the vertical, and you also have to label it y in brackets meters. So these are the values which were given. I think you can see here y is meters and x is in hours, number of hours. So that's where the meters and hours are coming from. So now that we have finished that, we have to remember our table that, so we are going to put corresponding values. When x is 0, y is 6. When x is 1, y is 5.87. When x is 2, y is 5.5. When x is 3, y is 5. When x is 4, y is 4.5. When x is 5, y is 4.13, and when x is 6, y is 4. So we are going to plot all those points. Let us start. So these are the points. So I plotted all of them. When x is 0, y is that. When x is 1, y is that. When x is 2, y is that. When x is 3, y is that. When x is 4, y is that. When x is 5, y is that. So now after plotting those points, we are going to use freehand. Always note that don't use a ruler to join the points. Use freehand, but your curve has to be smooth. So when I use the freehand, this is how your curve should look like. So that is the curve, but you also have to label it that y is equal to 5 plus cos 30x degrees. Okay, so that has been part B, where they told us to draw a graph of y against x. Now part C, they said from your graph, find Roman 1 the height of the wave at 3:30 a.m. So at 3:30 a.m. we know that x will be equal to 3.5 hours. Therefore come here, look for 3.5 on the horizontal, take it up to meet this curve, then take the horizontal line to meet the vertical axis. Now read off this point, and that point will be 4.74. Therefore y is equal to 4.74 meters. So that has been Roman 1. Now Roman 2 says, find the time when the height of the wave is 5.2 meters. So we shall come here and say 5.2 is here, take a horizontal line to meet the curve, take a vertical line to meet the horizontal axis, and read off this point. Now that value will be 2.6. Now 2 hours are these ones. Now 0.6 hours, we convert them to minutes by saying 0.6 times 60 to come up with 36 minutes. Therefore, the required time is 2:36 a.m. So now let's see how marks can be awarded. So the first mark will be both axes, drawing these axes, x and y axis. That is one mark. Then the second mark will be correct scale on both sides. So correct scale so that the curve can cover half or more than half of the graph. So the scale being correct, you get this one mark for both axes. Then the third mark will be for plotting the points correctly. So plotting all these points correctly, that is where the third mark comes from. And the fourth mark is a reasonable smooth curve passing through all the points. So this is a reasonable smooth curve passing through all the points. The next mark will be attempting to find the height at 3:30 a.m. So these vertical dotted lines here show that you are attempting to find this height. Therefore, that is where the B1 is coming from. Then another B1 will be attempting to find the time at 5.2 meters. So these dotted lines here, when they are seen, it means that you attempted to find this time. Therefore, that's where this B1 is coming from. Now the L1 is reading off this value. So reading off this value, which is 4.74 meters. And another L1 is reading off this value. So I'm going to leave you with two more questions, that is question 16 and question 17. These are section B questions and each question is 12 marks. So let's get started. So that brings us the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and the solutions to this, as to the assignment I've left you with, will be found in our next video. So if you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe so that you can receive updates for the upcoming videos. You can also share it with your friends and students so that we all benefit as a family.